Hello, everyone. Welcome. A couple of people want to say hello, or our animals want to say hello. Let's see here. I don't know if you guys can see. Hanky, Cowboy, Peanut is over there on his band. So they are usually always with me when I'm doing these videos. I thought I would share today. They wanted to say hello. So we are talking about 1 Samuel chapter 9 today. You can hear Annie Mae moaning. She's across the desk on her bed. But we're doing 1 Samuel chapter 9. Again, if you have not followed, liked, subscribed, please do so. If you're watching this on Facebook, I will be posting my TikTok and YouTube links there. If you could go follow those, I would greatly appreciate it. I'm going to be going live on YouTube and TikTok after the first of the year for a weekly Bible study. And if you go like and follow and subscribe, you'll be alerted about when those are going to happen. So in today's chapter, we meet a wealthy man named Kish, not to be confused with fish. It is Kish. And Kish has a son. His name is Saul. You've probably heard of Saul before. If you'll remember in our previous chapter, the Israelites are wanting a king to rule over them, despite God advising against that. And what happens is Kish has some donkeys that evidently get out. They're lost. And he instructs his son Saul and a servant to go find these donkeys. Well, in the meantime, God has spoken to Samuel. Remember, Samuel is a prophet. He was a judge, but he speaks with God. And God speaks to Samuel and says, look, there's going to be someone who comes to visit you, and I want you to appoint this person to be over the Israelites. So as Saul and this servant look for the donkeys, they are not having any luck at all. And somebody has a suggestion. They're like, why don't you go see a prophet, someone that can kind of see where things are? And at that time, they often referred to prophets as seers. So they go to speak to a seer who just happens to be Samuel. And of course, when they arrive, Samuel realizes that Saul is the one God spoke to him about. So I want to share with you a footnote dealing today with verse 21. It says, "Why are you talking like this to me?" Saul's outburst reveals a problem he would face repeatedly, feeling inferior, like a leaf tossed about by the wind. Saul vacillated between his worries and his convictions. Everything he said and did was selfish because he was worried about himself. For example, Saul said his family was the least important in the smallest tribe in Israel. But 9:1 says his father was a wealthy, influential man. Saul didn't want to face the responsibility God had given him. Later, Saul kept some war plunder that he shouldn't have taken and then tried to blame his soldiers, claiming they had really taken it to sacrifice to God. Although Saul had been chosen by God and had a mission in life, he struggled constantly with jealousy, insecurity, arrogance, impulsiveness, and deceit. He did not decide to be wholeheartedly committed to God because Saul would not trust God to lead him fully. He never became the leader God wanted him to be. And you know, that's really, really powerful. God can empower different people to do different things, but that person has a role in actually becoming the person God intended for them to be. And I think a lot of times that is what Satan will focus on. He will, if he knows someone is destined for great things or to do great things, he will instill in them jealousy, the feeling of defeat, insecurities, anger, whatever he can to get them to stray from the path God wants them to be on. So, you know, I think if you're going through a season now where you maybe feel like you're constantly up against obstacles, look at where you are going. Do you feel like God is leading you towards something bigger and these obstacles are just Satan's way of trying to keep you from getting there? Just something to reflect on. Like I said, if you're facing difficulties, if you're facing hard times, really reflect and think about what has happened up until now and where you feel like God is leading you, and see if those are just stumbling blocks to keep you from achieving what God has intended for your life. Thank you guys so much for watching today. Have a great rest of your day. I'll see you next time.